and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and today I'm doing a gourds piece. I really love fall gourds and such things. I love fall and gourds are a fall thing and I just really love them. Also, I really love my garden and I get a lot of gourds out of my garden, particularly this year. So I decided I need to paint some of them. So some of the gourds are ones that I've gotten from my own garden, others are ones that I've gotten from the store because I loved how they looked. One thing that I really like about gourds is when they have lots of warts on them, you know, those big bubbly things. I love those. So I'm going to show you at the end of the video some of the ones that I've gotten from my own garden that look really cool. About this painting, I'm actually doing a bit more of an impressionist sort of type thing for this because I really like impressionist stuff and I've wanted to grow in that area, but also I just think that the way that fall gourds are kind of lends itself to that because it's less the exact details than the vibe, kind of, I guess, that makes them look so cool. So I tried to capture that, and also I really just wanted to see how it felt painting that way. And with this brush, this is a pretty much bigger brush than I usually use for a lot of my paintings. I would usually use this kind for background and then switch to a much smaller brush to do the foreground or any kind of details. So I kind of wanted to explore what it would be like to use a bigger brush. Because this one actually can do fairly small details because it narrows down to a fairly nice point. I just have to be very careful with it. So I was able to explore using this brush to do both little small detail work and bigger strokes, and how I could change really quickly between those if I wanted to. Another thing about Impressionism is that I feel like it works better if you use more water. I'm still trying to use more water in my watercolors because I'm just kind of averse to it because, one, it makes the colors weaker, and usually I like really bright colors, but I thought that this actually looked really nice with all the colors kind of blending together and not having to be super bright. I thought it looked really nice in kind of pastel, kind of all flowing together sort of way. Also, when you use extra water, it looks more like a watercolor piece because of the way that the watercolors dry when they've been very wet. They dry looking a lot differently than if you had put on the same color and gotten the same hue with just the same but without as much water. It just somehow makes the texture different when it's less saturated. Especially around the edges, you can see they dry darker when you've used more water. So that was really interesting to explore, and I kind of just felt my way around this piece because I wasn't being very precious about it because it wasn't something that it wasn't supposed to be this super amazing like fairy piece. Like, I like my fairies to look really good. It was just sort of a fun piece to experiment in, and I really think that I learned a lot from doing that. I really enjoyed using this brush. It was just really satisfying to feel the way it moved in my hand and the marks I was making with it. It was just really nice. And so I had a really good time making this piece, which is nice because I'm a little burnt out from making a lot of pieces in October, and then I'm planning to make a lot of pieces in December too. So I wanted to make some kind of low stress pieces during November. Whatever comes out in 2 weeks still in November will probably also be a low stress one, but it might be a nice fun exploratory one like this one was. Also, we're gonna see if this recording setup that I'm using right now minimizes some of the background very annoying noises that have been in the background of a lot of my videos lately. Basically, I've discovered that my overhead light in my bedroom buzzes slightly. You really don't notice it normally until you're trying to record and trying to identify sounds. I'm like, yeah, that could be it. So I've turned it off. So we'll see if that helps at all. And also I was thinking about recording while I was out in the living room doing transferring some sketches onto watercolor paper with my light box. But out there, the refrigerator, I turned off the air conditioning because that's another one that adds noise all the time, but then I couldn't do anything about the refrigerator, so I had to come back to my room. I've been having a very cozy fall lately. We've been having fires. It's just gotten cold enough to have fires, and it got cold really suddenly. Like, it was too hot to be wearing my fall clothes at the end of October, and now suddenly we're having fires. So it got cold real quick, and so I'm really happy that now I can wear my big thick fall clothes and we can have fires and sit in the living room with the 2 cats who also like the fires and just be cozy all day while I draw. It's really nice. So do you like fall? Do you like cozy weather? And where you are, has it gotten properly cold, or are you still in the in-between phases where it's just all right outside, kind of room temperature-y? Oh, after I stopped recording, by the way, I did add a few things. I added some shadows around the bottoms of the gourds just to make it look like there was some lighting. And then I also really didn't like the way the pumpkin was looking, so I added another layer of orange shapes to it. So you'll be able to see that when I show you the final piece. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!